My husband faked having cancer to stop me from leaving him. Full story. My husband faked having cancer to stop me from leaving him. He shaved his head, forged medical paperwork, dragged our families into it, and then had the nerve to call me cruel when I finally exposed him. My name is Laura Mitchell, I'm 33, and my soon-to-be ex-husband is 35. His name is Daniel. We live in Columbus, Ohio. Or at least we did live together. Right now he's at his mom's house, and I'm trying to figure out how to untangle 8 years of my life from the biggest liar I've ever known. If you met us a year ago, you'd never guess we were this messy. We met in 2017 at a friend's game night. I was a quiet, anxious math teacher. He was the funny IT guy who rescued everyone's laptops and made self-deprecating jokes about his receding hairline. We bonded over bad pizza, Cards Against Humanity, and complaining about our jobs. For the first few years he was honestly great. Attentive, affectionate, funny. He'd show up at my school with coffee on stressful days, text me goofy memes, plan surprise date nights. My friends called him Golden Retriever Husband Energy. We got married in 2020, tiny COVID wedding in my parents' backyard, and moved into a 2-bedroom rental house on the east side of Columbus. I really thought I'd done it. I'd found my person. But marriage didn't magically fix his problems. Daniel has always been a bit dramatic and allergic to responsibility. Jobs were never the right fit. Bosses were toxic. Every roommate he'd ever had was crazy. Every ex was obsessed or controlling. At the time, I believed his side of everything. After we got married, those stories stopped being cute. In 2021, he quit his full-time IT job because his manager didn't respect him. He said he was going to do freelance tech support and make more working for himself. I supported him emotionally and financially for months while he built his client base. Spoiler: his client base was mostly him playing video games and occasionally fixing his cousin's printer for $40. Meanwhile, I was teaching full-time at Eastbrook High School, picking up extra tutoring on weekends, and slowly watching our savings account bleed out. We fought more and more about money. I'd say things like, "Can you please at least apply for a part-time job while you build this business?" And he'd say, "You don't believe in me?" Or, "I'm trying to create something bigger than a 9-to-5. Why are you so small-minded?" Classic manipulation disguised as ambition. By January 2024, I was exhausted. I felt less like a partner and more like a walking paycheck and therapist. Every conversation about finances turned into him crying about how he felt like a failure, and me consoling him, and then nothing changing. Around March 2024, I realized I wasn't just unhappy, I was resentful. And once resentful enters the chat, it's hard to unsee it. I started thinking about leaving. I didn't cheat. I didn't line up another guy. I just asked myself quietly if I could imagine spending the next 30 years like this, working myself into the ground while he found himself. The answer was a painful, obvious no. In April, I told him I wanted to start couples therapy and that if things didn't change, I didn't know if our marriage would survive. I thought I was being clear and honest. He heard, "You're on the verge of leaving me." 2 weeks later, he found a lump. He came out of the shower one night looking pale. "Laura," he said, voice shaking, I think something's wrong. Like seriously wrong." My heart dropped. "What? Are you okay?" He said he'd found a lump high on his testicle while showering. He looked terrified. Instantly, all my anger evaporated. My grandpa died of prostate cancer. My aunt had breast cancer. Cancer is not an abstract word in my family. Within seconds, I was in caretaker mode. "Call a doctor tomorrow," I said. "Don't wait. I'll go with you." He nodded, breathing fast. "Yeah, okay. I'm scared." So was I. He had an appointment with a urologist scheduled the next week at Ohio Health. The whole week he walked around the house looking like a ghost, bringing it up constantly. What if it's nothing and I'm being dramatic? What if it's something and I waited too long? What if we never have kids now? I canceled a tutoring session to go with him, but when we got to the clinic, something felt off. First weird thing. He told me to wait in the car for the appointment part. I don't want you sitting in that waiting room forever, he said. It's just a quick exam. I'll text you when I'm done. I thought it was strange. Most people want support, but he looked genuinely nervous, and I didn't want to push if he felt self-conscious about a sensitive exam. So I sat in the car, scrolling my phone, fighting nausea. He came back out 40 minutes later, eyes red, holding a crumpled printout. They think it's cancer, he said, voice cracking. They're doing more tests, but the doctor said it looks like early-stage testicular cancer. I burst into tears. He handed me the paper. It had a bunch of medical jargon, a name at the top that looked like Dr. H. Ramirez, and some abbreviated notes. I don't work in medicine, so I didn't know what I was looking at, but seeing words like mass and oncology referral and urgent made me dizzy. The next few weeks were a blur. He had more tests, met with an oncologist, and discussed treatment plans. I say had and met in quotes because he started insisting on going alone. I don't want you to see me like this, he said. I feel emasculated enough. I begged to come. He refused, saying he needed to handle this his way. He came home from each appointment with more printouts, more medical words, more fear. Then came the big talk in our living room. He sat me down on the couch one night in May and said, "It is cancer. Stage 2. They want to start chemo as soon as possible." I cried so hard I got a headache. He cried too, holding me, saying things like, "I'm so sorry you didn't sign up for this. And you can still leave me if this is too much." That last part stabbed me. "I'm not leaving you," I said through tears. "We're going to fight this. Together." And I meant it. All my frustration about money, about his laziness, about him not acting like an adult, it all got buried under the word cancer. We told our families. My mom cried on FaceTime. His mom, Sharon, came over with casseroles and immediately started acting like she was the lead actress in a tragedy she wrote herself. Daniel made a group chat called Team Daniel, where he sent updates like, "Had blood work today. Exhausted but hanging in there, red heart. Oncologist says I'm young and strong, good chances. Chemo starts June 10th. Not ready to lose my hair, LOL." Everyone rallied around him. He set up a GoFundMe without telling me, called Help Daniel Beat Cancer. He used a photo of himself in a hospital gown giving a thumbs up. The caption said, "I was recently diagnosed with testicular cancer, and chemo is going to be brutal. I'm out of work and my amazing wife is a teacher. A underpaid superhero. We could use any help for medical bills and living expenses while I fight." Donations poured in. Friends, extended family, old coworkers, even a few of my colleagues donated. Over a few weeks, the total ticked up to around $18,000. I was uncomfortable with it. I hate asking for money, but every time I hesitated, he'd say, "It's not just for me, it's for us. You're shouldering everything. Let people help." Then he shaved his head. The night before chemo was supposed to start, he stood in the bathroom with clippers. "I don't want to wake up with chunks of hair on my pillow," he said. "I'm taking control." He buzzed it all off, leaving a thin layer of stubble. I cried. I told him he looked handsome. I posted a photo of us with the caption, "Cancer doesn't know who it messed with." Looking back now, that photo makes me want to throw up. Here's where the cracks started showing. Chemo day came. I took off work to drive him to Ohio Health Riverside Methodist Hospital. On the way there, he was fidgety, checking his phone constantly. When we pulled into the parking lot, he turned to me and said, "Hey, listen. They've been really strict about visitors in the infusion center. Super cramped. Can you wait at home? It's just going to be me in a chair for hours." I said, "No way. I'm not leaving you alone all day with 4 drugs and nausea." He insisted. We argued in the car. He raised his voice, saying, "I don't want you hovering over me. I feel pathetic enough." In the end, to my eternal shame, I caved again. We agreed I'd drop him off, go run errands, and pick him up later. I watched him walk into the hospital with a backpack and beanie on his shaved head. I sat there for a moment feeling like a coward. Then I drove away, telling myself I was respecting his wishes. Every chemo day after that was the same. I'd drop him off. He'd text me 2 hours later. They're starting infusion now, feeling okay. A few hours after that. Done for today. Feel like crap. Come get me. He'd come out looking pale and sweaty. He'd grown dramatically getting into the car. Talk about metallic tastes and nausea and how brutal it was. At home, he'd lie on the couch and milk it for all it was worth. Babe, can you bring me some water? Babe, my head hurts. Can you rub my shoulders? Babe, I'm so tired. Can you call your mom and ask her to bring dinner? I did everything. Without question. Because cancer. But certain details didn't add up. One day I picked up a prescription for him, anti-nausea meds. The pharmacist handed me the bag and said, "Make sure he takes this with his antibiotics." Antibiotics? When I asked Daniel later what the antibiotics were for, he said, "Oh, I had a small infection from the port." Seemed plausible at the time. Then I noticed something else. He never actually lost his eyebrows or eyelashes. His hair stayed at exactly that buzzed length. Never patchy, never thinner. Not everyone loses all their hair, he said quickly when I brought it up. My oncologist said it varies. I googled testicular cancer chemo regimens. Most of the images showed men bald as eggs. I told myself, well, internet isn't everything. Don't be paranoid. The tipping point came in August. Daniel had left his backpack in the living room before another chemo day. While he was in the shower, I went to grab my phone charger from the front pocket. A folded sheet of paper fell out. It was an appointment reminder from his supposed oncologist at Ohio Health Cancer Care. Except the date on it was from June and the box marked no-show was checked. Confused, I unfolded it fully. There were 3 entries. June 10th, initial consult, no-show. June 17th, follow-up, no-show. June 24th, oncology education, no-show. At the bottom, a note. Patient has not engaged in care. Consider referral closed. My heart started pounding. I waited until he left for his chemo appointment. Then I did something I should have done months ago. I called the number on the paper. "Hi, my name is Laura Mitchell," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "My husband, Daniel Mitchell, is a patient there. I just wanted to check on his treatment schedule. I'm his wife." The receptionist asked for his date of birth. I gave it. She put me on a brief hold. When she came back, her tone was polite but distant. "We did have a new patient referral for Daniel Mitchell in June," she said. "He did not attend the appointments, and as far as our records show, he has not started treatment with us." I swear my vision blurred. "Sorry," I said. "There must be some mistake. He's been getting chemo twice a week for 2 months now." She paused. "I'm not seeing anything like that," she said carefully. "There's no infusion record under that name and date of birth in our system. If he's receiving chemotherapy, it is not through this clinic." I thanked her in a daze and hung up. My mind raced. Maybe he went to a different hospital? Maybe they referred him somewhere else? Maybe it's a typo? Or maybe my husband is lying about having cancer while thousands of dollars sit in a GoFundMe titled, "Help Daniel Beat Cancer." When he texted done, "Come get me later" that day, I drove to the hospital parking lot in numb silence. He walked out looking tired, hand on his stomach like he was nauseous. "Rough day," he muttered, collapsing into the passenger seat. I stared at him. "Which floor is the infusion center on?" I asked. He blinked. "What? You're always telling me visitors can't come in," I said. "Just tell me what floor it's on." He hesitated. "I don't know, like second? Third?" he said vaguely. "I'm out of it, Laura. Can we not do this right now?" It was like a switch flipped inside me. "Funny," I said, voice shaking. Because I just called your oncologist. They said you never showed up. They have no record of you getting any treatment. He froze. For a few seconds his face went completely blank, like his brain had crashed. Then he laughed, a high fake laugh. Babe, you must have called the wrong place, he said. There are multiple clinics. You're probably confused. I read the note from Ohio Health Cancer Care, I said. The one in your backpack that says you no-showed 3 times and they closed your referral. And I called the number on it. He stared straight ahead, jaw clenched. I've been getting chemo, he insisted. I don't know what their system says, but I've been here every week. You've dropped me off. Why are you attacking me? Because the math doesn't add up, Daniel, I snapped. Your hair never fell out. You never throw up. You're miraculously starving for burgers after every infusion. And now I find out your oncologist has never seen you. He started breathing fast. You're unbelievable, he said. I get cancer and your first instinct is to accuse me of lying? You're sick. Are you? I shot back. Do you actually have cancer? Yes or no? He didn't answer. The silence was my answer. I pulled the car into an empty corner of the parking lot and put it in park. I'm going to ask you one more time, I said, voice low. Do you have cancer? He exploded. Fine, he yelled. No, I don't technically have cancer. Happy. Are you happy? I felt like the world tilted sideways. Technically. I stammered. What does that even mean? He rubbed his face, shaking. I have precancerous cells, he said. Early stage something. It's complicated. The doctor said I'm at high risk. I might as well have cancer. I rounded up. My body went cold. You shaved your head, I whispered. You took donations. You told our families you were in chemo. I was scared you were going to leave me, he shouted. You were already halfway out the door. You kept talking about therapy and reevaluating the marriage. I panicked. My heart hammered so hard it hurt. So your solution, I said slowly, was to fake having cancer so I'd feel too guilty to leave? He slammed his fist against the dashboard. I didn't fake it, he insisted. I do have a medical issue. They found some abnormal cells. They said we could watch and wait. I just sped up the timeline. And yeah, okay, maybe I didn't actually go to those appointments, but I was going to. I just needed time to get my head around everything. I stared at him in horror. What about the GoFundMe? I asked. What about the money? He looked away. Medical bills are still going to happen eventually, he muttered. And we were drowning before that. People wanted to help. It's not like we held anyone at gunpoint. I felt sick. Where is the money, Daniel? I asked. He chewed his lip. Some of it went to pay off the credit card, he said. Some of it towards rent, the car payment. I bought the new laptop for my freelance work. It's not like I blew it on vacations. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely grip the steering wheel. You faked a life-threatening illness, I said. You lied to me, to our parents, to our friends, to strangers on the internet. You made me sob at night about you dying. You watched my mother pray for you. And it was all to trap me in a marriage you refused to work on. He went very still. You were going to leave, he said flatly. You basically said so. I was going to leave a lazy, selfish man, I said. Not a cancer patient. You weaponized the one thing that would guarantee I stayed. We drove home in eerie silence. That night, I moved into the guest room. The next day, I did 3 things. I called my mom and told her the truth. She cried, then got very quiet and very calm in that terrifying way only moms can. I screenshotted everything, the GoFundMe page, his cancer updates, texts with his mom, the no-show note, my call log with the clinic. I called a therapist and a lawyer. When I confronted him again with the words fraud and GoFundMe and legal consequences, he turned on the waterworks. He sobbed, saying things like, I didn't know how to tell you once it started. I thought I'd just actually get treatment eventually, and then it wouldn't be a lie. Everyone already thinks I have cancer, so what's the difference? I told him the difference was consent and reality. He swore up and down that he did have abnormal test results, and that he might really need chemo in the future. When I demanded to see his original test results, he suddenly couldn't find them. Must be in my emails, he said. Or they gave me access to some online portal. I'll show you later. Later never came. His mom, of course, was furious at me. She called me screaming, saying I was stress-killing her son, that he was sick and I was abandoning him in his darkest hour. I calmly told her, "He doesn't have cancer, Sharon. I spoke to his doctor's office. They've never treated him. He lied to all of us." She said, "You're confused. You must have misunderstood." Then she hung up and apparently went straight to him, because an hour later he texted, "Unbelievable. You had no right to involve my mom or the clinic. This is between us." No, this is between him and reality. As for the GoFundMe, I reported it. I contacted the platform, explained the situation, and sent them documentation. I told them I didn't want any of that money in our account. I have no idea what consequences he'll face yet, but I know I couldn't live knowing people donated under false pretenses. My lawyer told me that Daniel's behavior could absolutely qualify as fraud, and possibly even something worse if the donors decide to press charges. She also told me I need to protect my finances immediately. So I separated our bank accounts, froze my credit, took my name off anything I could. Right now, I'm staying with my parents while we start divorce proceedings. He still sends long, pathetic messages. "I'm sorry I went too far, I was desperate. If you loved me, you'd understand I was sick in the head, not evil. We can spin this, tell people it was a misdiagnosis, and redo the GoFundMe for mental health treatment." That last one made me physically recoil. I told him the only spinning I'm interested in is my lawyer spinning this into the fastest divorce she can manage. My therapist asked me something that stuck with me. If he's willing to fake cancer to control you, what else has he lied about that you haven't caught yet? I don't know the answer. I just know I'm done trying to find out. So that's where I am. My husband pretended to have cancer, shaved his head, faked appointments, took donations, to keep me from leaving a marriage he refused to fix. I uncovered the lie by accident, called his bluff, and now I'm trying to rebuild a sense of reality after realizing the person I married is capable of this level of manipulation. What would you do in my place? Would you push for legal action and let him face real consequences for the GoFundMe scam? Or would you walk away quietly and just focus on getting him out of your life? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read them all. And if you like stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Reddit Story Vault for more Reddit drama, relationship chaos, and full stories just like this one.